Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. We'll be talking about astrology and famous astrologers, part 2 of 2. Now, one person that really comes to mind is A.T. Mann. He has his chart ruler in the 8th house, which is connected with the occult, which can include astrology. And given he has a Sagittarius ascendant, he puts a lot of his philosophical energy into that, into astrology. Also, he has Pluto, excuse me. Wow, he has Pluto in the 8th house. He also has, which of course, that's its accidental dignity. And then he has Mercury in Virgo, in analytical Virgo, making a long conjunction to Neptune. And of course, Neptune is connected with the metaphysical, which could include astrology. So he has the ability to speak in analytical manner, be very attentive, really good with details in his communications, punctilious with details in the communication involving the metaphysical, which includes astrology. Man, excuse me. And he also has he wrote a book, I think, that really transcends time, that astrology of time and space. It's called the Round Art, Astrology of Time and Space. And what he did in one part of the book, he actually showed a lot of that Mercury and Virgo ability to dissect and compartmentalize, so to speak. He had a different physical description for every 5 degrees of the zodiac. So A.T. Mann also has Uranus in Gemini in the 7th, which could show ability to be a good, perhaps public speaker on astrology and talk about manifold parts and branches of it. And he also has the ruler of the 11th house of astrology in the that is in the 10th house, I do believe, or at least conjunct his 10th house. I believe it's conjunct his 10th house in his chart. So anyway, well, next person I want to talk about is Rick Levine. Now, he has Uranus in Gemini in the 1st house. People can obviously see that he is he's into astrology on a first impression. And also looking at his chart, he also has Aquarius on the 10th house cusp, so that could be a career indicator for astrology right there, and having that reputation and public image as an astrologer. And also he has Scorpio on the 6th house cusp, so when you have that, this could give ability, propensity for work in astrology, occult, supernatural. He also has the ruler of his 6th house of work and employment in the 11th house, connected with astrology. So this is an indicator where he can do work that is connected with esoteric subjects, which includes astrology. He also has 4 planets and the North Node in Aries in the 11th house, so it's a lot of this assertive and aggressive Aries energy in the 11th house of astrology, a lot of initiative and enterprise in that area. And I'm sure there's a lot of pioneering energy as well, considering that one of the planets in that 11th house is Mercury, and there's a lot of probably pioneering, original thinking in connection with astrology. He also has Pluto in the 3rd house, so this can give an ability to communicate on occult, supernatural subjects, which can include astrology. Anyway, next person up, YouTube celebrity astrologer Alyssa Sharp has Pisces rising. And of course, Pisces is a sign connected with the metaphysical, which can include astrology. She probably is somewhat mediumistic or has certain intuitive capability as well. Probably very good in terms of the transit delineation and seeing what's ahead for people, forecasting things for people in astrology. Now, she also has a Neptune conjunct the MC, which could be an indicator of a career in the metaphysical, which can include astrology. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that. She also has Jupiter in Aquarius in the 11th house. Of course, that could be very fortuitous for astrology and perhaps through social media, social networking. She also has the South Node in Scorpio conjunct the part of fortune in Scorpio in the 8th house of the occult. Supernatural includes astrology. This could indicate the very strong built-in abilities and capabilities connected with astrology. It could be very fortuitous for her and be able to generate money in the process, and doing this perhaps through a lot of connection with a lot of deep research, considering it's in the 8th house. Now, another thing she has Saturn in Scorpio in the 8th house, so this could give a certain responsibility and working laboriously in the occult, supernatural, which includes astrology, and a lot of deep, extensive research in connection with that. And also she has the ruler of the 8th house in the 6th house, and that could be another indicator of doing work that could be astrological, and it also conjuncts her Venus. So this is a very good placement. That's an aspect where she could obviously make money. It's auspicious for generating income through that as well. So anyway, well, the next thing up, Ricky Williams. Now, Ricky Williams is a former NFL player. He's not really, I wouldn't consider him a prolific or famous astrologer, but because he was a famous NFL player, the fact that he's transformed to some degree, being an astrologer now, I wanted to incorporate him in this video. Now, Ricky has a multitude of indicators for being a proficient in astrology. He has Uranus and Scorpio in the 2nd, which could give an unusual ability for astrology and making money through that. He also has the ruler of his 2nd house in the 8th house, so this could be an indicator again of making money, generating income through something connected with the supernatural, the occult, which can include astrology. He also has and probably a lot of value in transformation, because after doing something with being a prolific NFL player, he has become an astrologer. He also has Aquarius on his 6th house cusp, and that can be an indicator of your employment in connection with astrology, esoteric subjects. He also has the ruler of the 8th house in the 8th house. So this could be something where perhaps there was some strong transformation in connection with astrology, and a very strong perhaps interest in this as well. And the fact he's got his chart ruler, which is Mercury, in the 8th house, it's also a singleton, so it could be even more emphasized. A lot of that Virgo rising, pensive, detail-oriented, analytical energy is injected, comes out very strongly in matters with astrology, and also in transformation as well. And he certainly has transformed himself. Again, the fact that he was a former NFL player and now an astrologer. He also has Neptune conjunct his 4th house cusp, so this could suggest that he's very much at home with the metaphysical, which includes astrology. So, and also he has the ruler of his 11th house in his 10th house of career, and of course that could be another indicator of doing astrology as a career matter. So anyway, well, last but not least, I want to talk about renowned astrologer Edwin Learnard, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but one indicator he has for being, a student of astrology, has Uranus and Scorpio in the 11th house. Of course, Uranus in its accidental dignity there. Mercury in Pisces conjunct the 3rd house cusp. Yes, Mercury in Pisces, of course, that's in its detriment and fall, but the fact that it's Mercury's in Pisces can show an ability, proclivity to talk about the metaphysical, which can include astrology in conjunct the third house cusp, talk about manifold, perhaps branches of it, and talk about many ideas in connection with it. He also has the ruler of his the intercepted sign in his second house, which is Aquarius. That ruler is in the 11th house, so that could be an indicator of making money through astrology. And also he has Neptune conjunct the 7th house cusp, and that could be an indicator right there of public speaking on the metaphysical, which could include astrology. And being in Gemini, well, of course, that could be on manifold variety of astrological branches. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Astrology and Famous Astrologers Part 2. Stay tuned next time, where I'm going to be giving you my Aries February 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel, and secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.